Hello, welcome to Ted and Andy's graphic examples. Here I have some actual design examples that involve folding techniques. So I'm just going to go through a few of these with you and just show you some of these. And this really, this film is to support project number 4, which is the folding exercise to do with an invite. So I'll just start with one of them, and this here is by a company called Turner Duckworth, and it's Season's Greetings from Turner Duckworth. Now they have an office in London, when here we have the Tower Bridge, and they also have an office in San Francisco. So I don't know if you can see that, but basically they managed to go from the London Bridge to the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco by simply using a mere fold and also the use of a clever illustration. So that's a fantastic example of how to simply use a fantastic simple fold from London to San Francisco. So that's a good example there. And then this is an old example from the Chase. Creative Consultants, probably from the 1980s. And this was for a company that was hosting in the Royal Exchange Theatre here. And it says, come and help us raise the roof. And you raise the roof and it tells you about the information to do with the actual party, yeah? So a nice little idea, raise the roof, come and help us raise the roof, which is a euphemism for having a party or having a good time. I have a couple more here. These are a selection of V&A leaflets done by Johnson Banks, London Design Agency, Michael Johnson, and these have got a fantastic fold in them. They were, the way they're folded in such a way that when you open them out, you end up with an actually an A size or a square piece of paper. But just by folding them like that and down, you end up with a really nice. And these were displayed, I think, like that. Oh, I can't remember how they're displayed now. But yeah, it's a lovely use of fold. So slightly haphazard to start with, but eventually coming out. This is from Tom Dixon. So yeah, lovely example there of a fold. Here we have one that was very simple here. This was for a bar raising for a stag do. So how can I show this best? There you go. So probably best like that. So you open up like this, and it opens up to the little bar. So there you have the little optics and the drink. A bar raising stag weekend. You're welcome to join us on the weekend of the 30th of July for 3 days of camping, building, and drinking. So just by creating, there you go. There's the bar from side on. Just a simple fold there. So there's a nice little kind of nice little invite there. Here's another one which was to do with a Wonderful Life party. Somebody was invited somebody to come and watch A Wonderful Life. So this works on the fold looks an awful life, a wonderful party, an awful party. Now, if you know the film, A Wonderful Life is about somebody who thinks their life is awful, but really, throughout the course of the film, they're meant to realise that basically what a wonderful life they've got. So the fold there works on shortening a word, spotting that you get the word awful in a wonderful. So again, a very simple fold there. This one here was to do with West meets East, which was Japanese influences. So the Western design and Eastern design. Now, I don't know if you can see here, but basically Western design and the Japanese influence. So the Japanese flag, the red dot is halved, then the start of the sentence and the end of the sentence, West and East. Again, but again, nice simple fold. But again, the idea is in the type and the actual wordage as well. I like this one. I picked this one up from the Yorkshire Sculpture Park recently, and it's what's nice about this is it's kind of like it's mimicking the hills. The way it's cut mimics kind of put it out like that. The kind of skyline or the way it folds. You can see, you can just about see it from there, can't you? It's a mountain range. Should I say it's like a mountain range? If you can see, because actually mountains printed on it. I don't quite know what it's for, but I just quite liked it. 50 years of the polypropylene chair. This is an invite. This is a piece done by an ex-Preston student a long time ago, Alex Creamer. 50 years of the polypropylene chair, the Robin Day chair. This is quite nice because people stack chairs. So it's an invite to the exhibition, and it just opens up like that into a stack of 50 chairs. So it goes down and stacks out 50 chairs. So another nice fold there. And another invite. There's a Victorian one. He's got some nothing's ever new. This is, I think, it's a Victorian Christmas card. So as you can see, what we have here is a gentleman on his horse going by, and a lady on a horse has just gone past, and he's obviously not looking where he's going. He's turned, she's turned his eye, and then he turned over, and he falls off. He hits the branch. So it's a kind of nice little surprise there, and that's probably over 130 years old now. So nothing's new. We have some more Victorian ones here. These Victorians excelled in quite bizarre Christmas cards. I always think of them as the first surrealists, really. This is kind of frogs up some ladders and a heron, wishing you a happy Christmas. But what's quite nice about this, the ladders, you can sort of see, if I put it like that, I can't move the camera, but the ladders come out like that, and so you can stand the card up. Victorian again. This is found this in the ephemera archive. What makes the same brand leader stand out year after year? Well, a pop-up. So quite literally standing out there. So that's kind of, you can tell that this is quite 70s from the typeface. But yeah, pop-up. Again, we've just shown you a book in the previous presentation on pop-up, so that might be useful for you. Margate, flick book. Quite interesting flick book. Quite achievable now to do flick books. Put them together. It's quite nice. Not necessarily a fold, but there you go. I thought I'd throw that in. This is a one by the Chase. A Small Wonder, Purple on DX. And all this does really is basically fold itself out. The thing about the Purple on DX was you could dilute it. So it's a small bottle, it could make an absolute 250 gallons. So by emulating that on the paper, you start small, it tells you facts about Purple on DX. And as you get bigger, the paper gets bigger, the actual facts get bigger, and then basically it tells you that basically you can actually, from a Small Wonder here, you can actually, do that in the diary. So, very, very kind of like quite dry subject matter, but treated in a very creative kind of way by simply folding a piece of paper down from an A size to put from A2 down to A5, something like that. But folding that piece of paper, the idea is intrinsic to it. I picked this up as a flyer from Hong Kong back in about 1999. I just like this one because it folds out into a circle. Chinese laundry. I think it was an invite to a club night. But it's quite nice how it goes from that to a circle. I've often used this as an example, as a template to people because that's quite interesting as well. So as you can see, there's quite a few things that are on there. I've got any more? Any more in there? Oh, this is quite a nice one. All penitent letter writers. You can see that. And if you pop this one up again, you get a nice little church comes up there. Let's have a look at that. So a lovely little church, a piece of delicate typography here, something you're going to have to take into consideration for your invite. But yeah, very simple. A lovely little charming object. This was a Christmas card done by the Chase, which again works on a concertina. Belcher's Lane. Oh no, hold on a minute. What's this? Turkey Street. So these are actually all streets in Britain. Sprouts Lane, Potato Wharf, Cranberry Close, Pudding Lane, Belcher's Lane. So payoff there is obviously Belcher's Lane, but simple concertina based on street signs, but also a nice little Christmas card with a punchline at the end. What else have we got here? This is always interesting. You come across these, you can see how they do them. You can get online to have a look at these, how they're done. They're kind of the idea just is going round and round and round. You go about 3 things with it, I think. So you end up with one meal, cheese board, then you end up with dessert, and then you end up with probably a main course, I would have thought. Yes, yeah. So don't ask me how they do that, but I think it's quite simple to actually do as a piece of paper engineering if you look online. Yeah, and that's probably about it really. I've got another couple of examples here of folds, but I think maybe should we finish on a Victorian one here again, which is a nice, lovely little one here, which is 2 hands coming together, then putting together. Happy New Year for thee and thine, for the sake of old lang syne. From Rose and Friends. Again, that's probably done who Rose was, but I'm sure lovely little kind of thing there. So yeah, I hope that this helps anybody and shows you a few examples of what can be achieved by folding, basically. So yeah, I think that's a wrap. Ted!